She saves me about 40 to 60 hours a week of work, primarily because she's the one who edits these YouTube videos, and also at the same time, she helps me in a lot of different ways that I'm going to talk about in this video. Hey there, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, my goal is at the end of this video is to be able to walk you through the different ways that having an assistant in your business can actually help you be more productive. Now, if this is your first time on my channel, my name is Lai Lacaba. I have been working from home since I was 15 years old and now run my own assistant outsourcing agency in the Philippines. And I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business at home. So make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my video. Now, if you've watched other videos of mine before where I talked about how my assistant manages my life and what are the different tasks an assistant can do, then some of these parts of this list will sound familiar to you already. However, I want to make sure that you guys watch until the end of this video if you're someone who's still on the edge about how can an assistant actually help me in my business, whatever your business looks like. So for me, I've had an assistant actually until about 4 years. I've had 2 assistants. One of them has become actually like the secretary of the business. Like, she runs around and helps take care of all of the documentation, the admin stuff in the business, but she started out as my PA. The second one, the current one that I have, one that you guys have met, Christina, is my executive assistant. She helps me with a lot of different things in my life, not just the work part, but also in my life. So she saves me about 40 to 60 hours a week of work, primarily because she's the one who edits these YouTube videos, and also at the same time, she helps me in a lot of different ways that I'm going to talk about in this video. Now, the first thing that she really helps me out with when it comes to being more productive is filtering communications. What I mean by this is she helps make sure that the type of communication that comes to me is what I should be looking at. So this could be like emails of mine, this could be YouTube comments that you guys send out. She sends those to me, so then I respond to her and then she comments it back to you guys. Or she makes sure that I see communications that I should be looking at. So for example, for my LinkedIn, there's been a lot of people who just message me on there saying like, hey, we want to offer you this. And she makes sure that I see the ones that are actual genuine connections so I can connect with them in the right way as well. The other way is she helps me vet possible clients or applicants who are coming into our company by looking up their information, seeing if they're qualified, seeing if they're worth talking to even. So Christina helps me a lot in making sure, again, that the communication that arrives to me are the things that I need to look at or respond to. Now, speaking of helping me research people I'm going to be talking to, another way that Christina helps me be more productive in my work is data collecting. Now, what I mean by this is she helps me research things ahead of time so that I don't have to. So for example, like I said, she helps me research possible clients, possible applicants who are coming into her company. She gives me all of that in a beautiful little packet. And it's the same thing when I'm traveling or I'm going somewhere. I just did almost a week-long trip in Mobile, and she helped me research like my transportation, like the different places that I could stay at. So she gives me all of this information again so that I don't have to. So I can only focus on making decisions, on going ahead and paying, so I don't have to do it myself. I don't have to go through that rabbit hole of looking for hotels or cars or places or people. I just get the information that I need at that moment. Next thing that my assistant helps me with to be more productive is definitely then data organizing. So after collecting all of the data, she makes sure that it's organized in a way that I can look back on it later on. One of the biggest ways is Christina goes through my daily work journal and makes sure to grab information from there that I really need. So we do that by color coding. She makes sure that I see those in a way that I can just go back through it easily and not have to stumble my way through. I know where things are at. It's the same thing with a lot of the other files that I have, like the other YouTube videos. She makes sure that it's in the right folder, in the right place, so I can again easily find all of these things without having to always consult her or bug her. Or, best way is I just ask her where things are at and she just sends me the link. This saves me so much time rather than having to deep dive, rather than have to go through my own history to find the thing that I'm looking for. It's just already organized for me. Next way that my assistant keeps me productive is she keeps me accountable. She becomes kind of an accountability partner. If I don't film these videos, every Wednesday for the Thursday videos and every Friday for the Sunday videos, then I'm not going to put out any YouTube videos. So she makes sure to follow up with me. She makes sure to keep me in line of what are things that I'm supposed to be doing. And also she helps me with my habits. One of the things that we've done together is we've shared the want to be able to work out every morning. So then we both send each other workout updates. So one of the ways that she makes sure that I'm on track is by following up with me, by making sure that whenever I commit to something, I actually follow through. She makes sure that if I was going to be sending out like gifts for our clients or gifts for our employees, that I actually give her updates so she can move things forward in our projects. And speaking of, the next big way that my assistant helps me be more productive is keeping track of the projects that I have to do. Even though it has nothing to do with her, she still asks me for updates. So then that project can still be moved forward. From the small details of finding data, finding the right information, to doing the tasks, to actually following up with me on the things that I want to get done. It helps me keep focused on what are the next things that I should be working on, what are the next things that I should be moving forward myself. So that is one of the biggest things that a lot of people miss, is your assistant doesn't have to be the person who just takes care of admin stuff. They essentially, and this is something that we talk about in 2XU, my agency, that they essentially become what we call your second brain, the person who can kind of think like you almost and make decisions like you, but they are still their own person. They've just kind of learned how to keep you on track and how to keep things on track even when you're not there. Next one, which is a very common thing that an assistant can do for you, is managing your social media accounts. So let's say you're like me, who creates 10 to 20 pieces of content every week. Aside from the daily Instagram stories that I do, there's going to be a lot of comments, a lot of things that you want to look at. There's also just content to make. And a lot of what Christina does for me is she makes sure, again, that I see comments that I should respond to. She also helps create the content that goes into Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. And like I said earlier, she actually is the one who edits these videos and makes sure that they're published on time. So it's kind of the magic of having the right assistant with you, is that you get to the point where they kind of think like you, decide things like you would, and be able to help you out on the minor things that you didn't even know was actually slowing you down in your productivity. Next thing is systematizing recurring tasks. So what I mean by that is every day you probably have things that you do by out of habit, or you have to do out of habit. And one of the things that Christina helps me out with is finding those recurring tasks and seeing if she can actually take them over, systemize it, and even give it back to me if I really wanted to do it myself. So again, really good example is just YouTube comments that you guys leave below. Is she sends me just the snippets of it, and then I reply back. I do an audio recording of myself saying what should be responded to this comment, and basically just streamlines that whole process instead of me sitting in front of my computer for about 15 to 30 minutes responding to comments. Other than that, there's also like making sure that she follows up with me on things like making sure I get checkup on time, or making sure that I buy my medicines if I'm running out of medicine. So it's having that, again, that second brain thing of having someone who knows your life, knows your business, and actually helps you basically make it easy for you to get the right work done. Which brings me to the last thing that Christina helps me out with, which is making sure that I'm really only focusing on the things that make sense for me. So instead of 2XU, we call this the 80-20 tasks assessment, where I go through someone else's business and actually let them know, like, yeah, you're the only one who can do this particular thing, and whatever that could be. So for example, for me, I'm really the only one who could do these YouTube videos because you guys know my face, you guys know I'm the one with all of the experience, I'm the one with all of the speaking capability of being able to explain this. So that is part of what Christina helps me, is to make sure that I'm only doing this, that I'm not stressing myself out on the other details. Inside of the business, she helps me focus on just helping the clients, and she has actually now started taking over, helping take care of the assistants. She helps me really make sure that I'm only working on the right things, following up with me to make sure that I'm doing it. And I call it just entrepreneur squirrel brain of getting too distracted by about too many things. Having Christina has helped me make sure that I don't get distracted by those things. Now, let me know in the comments below, have you had an assistant before, and have they helped you with your productivity as much as Christina has? Now, comment those below, and look forward to seeing your guys' experience working with an assistant yourself. And if this video was helpful for you, make sure to hit that like button right there. And if you still haven't, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday, and you guys can check out the newest video right here. And I hope you have an awesome day. Remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!